What is going on, guys? I'm Dave, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips to improve your resume to help you get hired. On average, recruiters look at a resume for about 7 seconds, so you literally have seconds to make a good first impression. While I was a recruiter at a tech company for years, more importantly, I've worked at, received offers from, and helped friends get jobs at some of the most competitive places to work in the country. The biggest tool you have to get out of debt and create wealth is your income, and generally that all starts with applying to a job with your resume. So if you're ready to get out there and get a new job, let's get this thing started. Let's start with one that I see missing on over half of the resumes that I look at, and I think it's something that really helps a resume stand out. Whenever possible, you want to include a what and a why on your resume bullet points. Most people's resume bullet points include the what, which is the very basic what did I do part, but what separates an okay middle schooler's resume from a grown-up's really good resume is including the why. When you only include the what, you're basically signaling that you don't have a lot of work experience, you don't think broadly about the work that you do, and you're basically just a worker bee that does what you're told. And every job can have a what and a why. Let's say that your first job was at a restaurant, so the what would be something like clean tables and wash dishes. When you add in the why, that turns into something like clean tables and wash dishes to make sure that tables and utensils were ready for customers. No matter what your job is, you want to think one level deeper than the what to get into the why. If you do quality assurance, or maybe you're a writer like me, why do you do the things that you do? So for me, while the what might be that I write instruction manuals, the why is that I make them easy to understand and easy to translate. If you look at your resume right now, I bet you have a lot of what, but not a lot of why. And chances are you won't be able to do this on every single bullet point, but you want to add in the why where you can. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a thumbs up to help more people find it on YouTube. Next up, check for consistency throughout your resume. When I was a recruiter, here are some of the most common areas where I would see consistency errors on people's resumes. Look at the dates of your jobs and your abbreviations. How are you listing months and years? Are you abbreviating state names? Are you abbreviating month names? Whatever you do, do it everywhere. Next, look at capitalization. Are you capitalizing your job titles? And if so, do it everywhere. If you're including information about your education, capitalize it the same way that you're doing your jobs. And then check punctuation. Are you adding periods at the end of your bullet points? Whether you are or you aren't, do it consistently throughout your whole resume. You would not believe how many resumes I've seen that have periods on some bullet points but not others. It's like a plague on resumes that will never go away. There's not necessarily a right or a wrong way to do all of these things, but it is wrong to do it inconsistently. These types of small consistency errors show a lack of care and don't give a very good first impression. It's always funny to see a resume where someone mentions their attention to detail, but then you find all of these errors scattered throughout their resume. Consistency, it matters. Check it over and over. Okay, so this next one is what I think separates a baby resume from a grown-up resume. Include numbers where you can. In general, a resume that doesn't have a single number on any of its resume bullet points is an immature resume. When you have numbers in your bullet points, it can show that you've measured the quality of your work, you've made a quantifiable difference, or you've added value to a business. Numbers can be things like you increased customer satisfaction by 10%, maybe you did hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales, or you created a system that reduced errors by 20%. No matter what your job is, you can have numbers. If you're a swim instructor, maybe you retain 95% of your students. If you work at a cell phone store, maybe you helped increase sales by 5% or you sold a lot of insurance packages. If you're a manager, maybe 100% of your employees would recommend working for you or you received a prestigious management award. Every modern company these days likes to know that you think about numbers and measuring the impact of your work, whatever that means. When you add numbers to your resume bullet points, that's a sign that you pay attention to your work and you have proof that you actually did a good job. Last, proofread, proofread, proofread. Did I mention proofread? That means that you should carefully read your resume out loud to yourself, and you should ask a friend to proofread your resume too. After that, you should ask that friend to read your resume out loud to you to see if it sounds weird. And if you don't trust any of your friends, go on a website like Fiverr and pay someone $5 to proofread your resume. If you've done a good job on the rest of it, this could be the best $5 that you've ever spent. A typo on a resume can literally take you out of the running for a job at many places. And if that happens, it's on you. It's not on the recruiter, it's not on the company, company, it's not because someone didn't give you a chance, it's because you didn't put in the time to put your best foot forward through your resume. Too often, people panic and apply to something really fast when they see it, but they don't put in the time to clean up their resume beforehand. A good way to avoid typos and rushing on your resume is just to clean it up over time. Take 15 minutes every 3 months to make sure that your resume is ready to go. You avoid typos and needless mistakes, and you're ready to go when it's game time. Your resume is your first impression when you apply to a new job, and I hope that these tips help you upgrade your resume and ultimately help you get hired. If you learned something new from this video, or you know a friend who's on the job hunt, please give this video a thumbs up or share this video with them to help more people find it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Debt Free Differently.